I am back here with Kayla. We were in Cancun and we decided to do a little fun video for you guys.
We're gonna do a travel Q&A.
Yeah, we're
just
gonna
answer some of our most asked travel questions.
I mean, maybe not most asked. I just picked some fun ones that I thought would be fun to answer.
Okay.
You ready?
Number 1.
What is your favorite travel memory as a child?
As a child, would totally be going to Lake Michigan with the whole family. We would choose like a different cabin every year in a different spot, and it was just so much fun. What about you?
So for me, my grandparents used to live in Myrtle Beach, and we would go every summer. And we used to do that every year, so it was fun. I loved it.
I love Myrtle Beach.
Oh, you've been there?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've been a couple times. It's fun.
So fun.
Sure.
All the restaurants there. Mm-hmm. All right, number 2, most interesting food you've ever tried.
Interesting. Probably cow tongue in Belgium. They made me try cow tongue, and it was disgusting. It's exactly how you'd think it would be. It was like, and I think a lot of it was the fact that I knew I was eating cow tongue.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, because you had that thought in your head.
Yeah.
I mean, mine's kind of similar. On a cruise, I had ox tongue, but it just tasted like really tender beef. It was actually good. And I had frog legs on that same cruise.
Yeah.
That's probably the weirdest, like,
Yucky.
most interesting. All right, next question. What destination have you found to be the most overrated?
Paris, for sure.
Yep, that's my answer too.
Hated Paris.
I was not a fan. I was there for one day, and I was so ready to leave.
I just don't understand the fascination of Paris.
People were very rude to me. I mean, not everyone. There was a couple okay people, but I just wasn't really a fan. I didn't understand why everybody always talks about how much they love it.
I don't know why Paris is so romanticized, because I didn't like it, to be honest. We spent like 3 days, and honestly, I would have been good with a day.
Yeah, I mean, we were ready to leave after a day.
Yeah.
And that's all we had there, so we were so thankful.
Yeah.
Dream vacation spot.
I have a couple. I would really love to do Bora Bora with an over-the-water bungalow, or the Maldives, either one, or Seychelles. I would love to go to Antarctica, which you're going to, which I'm super jealous of. And I would also love to go to New Zealand, which I am going to in November. Fingers crossed if everything goes back to normal. What about you?
So mine is definitely Antarctica, but I don't know if I can really say that because I do have a trip there booked. So I would also say Bora Bora, like Fiji, Tahiti, like any of those type of places. I was supposed to go to French Polynesia in February, and that got canceled. So one day I'll make it there. What is the longest road trip you've ever taken?
Probably we did like all of Arizona and then up through Utah. We did like a whole week-long road trip and saw pretty much everything we could see. But I mean, distance-wise, in one go, probably up to the UP, all the way to like the other side. I mean, that's a long road trip. So if you're unfamiliar with Michigan, I mean, that's at least, I mean, if you go from Metro Detroit, where we're at, all the way up to like the far, like, what is it, west part of the UP. I mean it's like 12, 13 hours, so.
You could drive to Tennessee, past Tennessee. That's almost like to Florida.
Florida's like 24.
Okay, maybe not. I mean, I drove to Florida.
I guess technically we did drive to Florida. What am I talking about? I also drove to like Myrtle Beach. I don't know, so maybe quite a lot. I don't know. What's your, I mean, Florida longest?
I don't know exactly. I have drove to Florida, but I feel like the longest, at least what felt like the longest, so back in like the early, I don't know if it was early 2000s, like 2007 or something like that, I used to sell merch for the Jonases. And we had a show in Louisiana, and then the next day they were in Chicago, and lucky them got to fly. We had my car, so we literally we worked the show in Louisiana after we'd already worked the show in Alabama, and then had to drive from Alabama to Louisiana, worked the show in Louisiana, and literally drove the second we left that show straight to Chicago. And we were driving all night. We literally made it to the venue as they were walking on stage. So that to me is my longest.
Yeah. That's a long one. I don't know, I think from the Midwest, we just drive everywhere. We do a lot of road trips, so it's kind of hard to like gauge what's the furthest. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we answered it good enough. Okay, longest plane ride you've been on?
Oh, for sure, all the way to Asia. I went from Detroit to South Korea, which was like 13 hours, and then from there I went from Seoul, South Korea to Vietnam. That was a very long travel day. It was like 24 hours when everything was said and done, so.
Yeah, mine was when I went to the Maldives. We had multiple flights, but the longest actual like flight for just one flight was I think like 12 or 12 and a half hours.
Yeah.
Most expensive trip you've taken?
Probably Iceland. My flight was super cheap. The reason why I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go, but I spent a lot of money in Iceland. Iceland is not cheap.
No,
I think that's what a lot of people just don't realize. Like, you can get cheap airfare to Iceland, but
and then once you get here,
oh my god, I spent like $25 on a sandwich, half a sandwich, by the way. So
that sucks.
Yeah,
What was the
but
question?
most expensive
Oh
trip.
yeah. I mean, I haven't technically taken it yet, but my Antarctica trip. Or do you want me to answer as a trip I've already taken?
Trip we've already taken.
Probably when I went to the Maldives.
Yeah.
What is the worst hotel you stayed at?
God, I've stayed in some really bad hotels. Probably some hostel along my trips throughout the years. I can't tell you exactly which one, but I'm sure there's not one that really sticks out. But how about you?
I have a couple, but so there's really two that I can't really decide upon. The first one was here in CANCUN, like back in the day when I used to come here. We didn't stay all inclusive, and they literally put us in a room. It didn't even have a room number. Like, we were literally like, they put us in the friggin' broom closet. Like, what is this? And I found a porn magazine underneath my bed. So that would probably be one of my worst. And then, what do you like least about traveling?
I think what I like least is just sometimes being put in uncomfortable situations where then you don't know how to handle them.
Yeah.
I think is my least favorite. Because I've been in some situations where I just felt like I could have handled things differently, or I don't know, just being in uncomfortable positions.
Yeah.
I think that's my least favorite.
I just miss people when I leave. I get a little homesick. I mean, once I'm here, I'm usually a little better, but like leaving is hard. I get kind of like sad like the day before I'm about to leave. Last question. Are you ready?
I am ready. What's the last one?
Have you ever missed a flight?
No, never.
Oh, really?
I have never missed a flight.
I have.
I have never.
And you want to know the crappy thing is, I was sitting at the gate the entire time. I fell asleep.
Oh,
I was
rookie
so tired that I can't fall asleep anywhere, but I fell asleep at my gate, sitting on the floor. So I have woods. And I think that's all of our questions. Let me make sure I didn't forget any.
Nope, that's all of them.
Yeah, that's all of them. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope it was interesting. Feel free to answer any of the questions below. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know your answers. We'd love to know and get to know you guys a little bit better.
Or if you have any questions for us that we didn't ask, or that we didn't answer, let us know, and we can maybe do another video next time we're together.
Yeah, part 2.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Oh, my arms are starting to hurt sitting like this. Hang on.